So here we have the latest and greatest from the Apple and the Samsung. So on the right we get to see the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, and on the left we have the iPhone 16 Pro. So design wise, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is a little bit bigger than what the iPhone 16 Pro, but the design language would be the same for both of these phones. So first we'll just go ahead and just talk about the specs of these both phones, as we'll be just doing the comparison of these both phones in our this video. So first we'll just go ahead and just talk about the specs of the iPhone 16 Pro. So dimension wise it's 149.6 by 71.6 and 8.3 millimeter in thickness. On the S25 Ultra we are just getting 162.8 by 77.6 millimeter into 8.2 millimeter in thickness, so 0.1 millimeter less thick than what you get to see on the iPhone 16 Pro is the S25 Ultra. Weight wise, it's 199 grams on the iPhone side. On the S25 Ultra it's 218 grams, which I would say like is a quite massive improvement in terms of the weight reduction on the S25 Ultra when it's compared to the S24 Ultra. And the weight is like it doesn't feel much more in the hands, like it feels much more lighter and in a safe zone, I would say. And it doesn't feel so much like heavier than the iPhone 16 Pro. We talk about the build wise, so iPhone 16 has the glass front, which is the Corning made glass, and we have the glass at the back as well on the iPhone 16 Pro, and it's a very good feel that you can once you touch this device. And the frame itself is grade 5 titanium, this one, which is I really love on this one. Like it's very muted kind of titanium that have been exposed on to the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the Pro. I like more than what the S25 Ultra titanium looks like if you see this one. So the iPhone 16 Pro one, it looks like much more natural and nicer to feel in terms like it's like smoother than the S25 Ultra. We talk about the S25 Ultra. So here we have also the glass front, which is the Corning Gorilla Armor 2 glass, and the same glass has been used on the back of the S25 Ultra. And the frame itself is also made out of the grade 5 titanium, so you can see like it's very much same what the iPhone 16 Pro has to offer. So if we feel the back of these both phones, so you'll feel like the iPhone feels little bit smoother, or like you can say both are like really great in their own terms, like very hard to find difference. They have just tried to match so much in terms of the feel. Yeah, it's pretty much similar, I would say, feel that you get on both of these phones while touching the phones. On the iPhone 16 Pro you're just getting the IP68 dust and water resistance up to 6 meter for 30 minutes, and on the S25 Ultra you're also getting the IP68 dust and water resistance, but that's up to 1.5 meter for 30 minutes. So obviously you're just getting a better rating on the iPhone 16 Pro in terms of like it can go up to 6 meter than the S25 Ultra, which can just go up to 1.5 meter. So display wise, if we talk about which are the main components of these both phones, so on the iPhone 16 Pro you're just seeing the LTPO Super Retina XDR OLED 120Hz display, which is supposed which supports the HDR10 Dolby Vision, and there's 2000 nits of peak brightness on this one. And this display itself is like very smart. It can drop down up to 1 Hertz to just make the battery use much more efficient. On the S25 Ultra we get to see the dynamic LTPO AMOLED 2 times 120Hz display. It has the HDR10 plus with the 2600 nits of peak brightness, and the size wise the iPhone 16 Pro is 6.3 inches, which is 90.1% screen to body ratio, and the resolution on this one you're just seeing 1206 by 2622 pixels. Aspect ratio wise is 19.5:9 ratio with 460 ppi of density. On the front, you'll just see like it's Apple Gold. This one is a ceramic shield glass, which is like much more stronger than the previous versions. And it's a 2024 generation, and it's supposedly always on display. On the S25 Ultra side, if we come, so we get to see the 6.9 inches over here, which is 92.5% screen to body ratio. So better body ratio you're just getting over here on the S25 Ultra side. Resolution wise is 1440 by 3120 pixels, which is 19.5:9 ratio, and 498 ppi density. So you're just getting better ppi density than what you were getting on the iPhone 16 Pros, and it also supposedly always on display on this one. On the iOS side, which is the Apple, we're just getting the iOS 18, and that is just upgradable to right now to 18.3. On the S25 Ultra, you're just getting the Android 15 out of the box, and the Samsung promises up to 7 major Android upgrades. So that would just make around 7 years of upgrades that you just get on the S25 Ultra. So both devices are like future proof. Now the Samsung also comes with the One UI 7 out of the box, which is the newer UI from Samsung. Chipset wise, on the iPhone side, we're just getting the Apple A18 Pro, which is a 3nm chipset, and the CPU itself is hexa-core, which is 2 into 4.05 GHz plus 4 into 2.42 GHz. On the S25 other side, you're just getting the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is newest and greatest chips from the Snapdragon, with a 3nm structure, and it's octa-core, so it's 2 into 4.47 GHz. So this has been like overclocked for the Galaxy S25 Ultra, and it's Orion V2 Phoenix L, plus there's 6 into 3.53 GHz Orion V2 Phoenix M. GPU wise, on the iPhone, you're just getting the Apple GPU, which is a 6-core graphics. On the S25 Ultra, you're just getting the Adreno 830. So memory wise, if we talk about, so both doesn't support the SD card slot, and the iPhone 16 Pro, you're just getting 4 different memory options, which is 120 gig, 256, 512 gig, and 1 terabyte version, all supported with the 8 gigs of RAM. On the S25 Ultra, the base version starts from the 256 gig, and then it goes up to 512 gig, and all the way up to 1 terabyte with 12 gigs of RAM. So on the iPhone, the memory itself is the NVMe. On the S25 Ultra, you're getting the UFS 4. Now let's talk about the camera models on these both phones. So if you talk about the camera modules over here, so both are the triple camera setup. So on the iPhone 16, you're just getting 48 megapixels.
It sounds like you're interested in comparing the camera capabilities of different phones.
Wow.
To give you the best
That's Gemini. All right, I don't want to go into that right now, but yeah. So yeah, if you talk about the camera wise on the iPhone 16 Pro, so you're just getting the 48 megapixel wide, and then there's 48 megapixel ultra wide, and there's 112 megapixel, which is the periscope telephoto lens on this one. So here you get to see the 3D LiDAR scanner, which is a depth scanner used by the iPhone over here with the dual tone LED flash. On the S25 Ultra, you're getting also a little bit upgrades. So the main lens is like a 200 megapixel wide, and then there's 10 megapixel telephoto, and then there's 150 megapixel periscope telephoto lens, which is 5 times optical zoom, and then there's one more 50 megapixel ultra wide, which has been just improved from the last year. So on the iPhone 16 Pro, you can just shoot 4K up to 120 FPS. On the S25 Ultra, you can shoot up to 8K and 30 FPS. And if you talk about the front camera, so both are like the 12 megapixel, and the iPhone 16 Pro supports 4K up to 60 FPS, and the S25 Ultra also supports 4K up to 60 FPS, and both are the stereo speakers. If you talk about the lock system on these ones, so iPhone has their proprietary Face ID. On the S25 Ultra, you're just getting the fingerprint scanner. Obviously, face lock is also there on the S25 Ultra. Battery wise, the iPhone 16 Pro is the 3582 mAh and the S25 Ultra remains same as the 5000 mAh battery as what you get to see on the S24 Ultra. So the color options, if we talk about, so here you can get on the iPhone 16 black titanium, white titanium, natural titanium, desert titanium. On the S25 Ultra you're just getting 7 options, which are 3 exclusive, which are titanium jet black, pink gold and jade green, and then there's standard colors you get as a titanium silver, blue, black, white, silver, and then there's titanium gray. So that's about the specs in depth of these both phones. Now we just talk about the design language of these both phones. So if we come onto the left side, so you can see like there is just a power button for the iPhone on the left. However, on the Samsung side, you're just seeing the volume up and down and the power button itself. And then there's on the iPhone side, you're just getting their new camera button integrated over here, which has been really useful in terms of the when it comes to the launching of the camera. Feel wise, I feel a little bit smoother touch to the iPhone 16 Pro. And I like the finish over here much more better than what you get to see on the S25 Ultra, but obviously that's like a subjective thing that you can say on that one. We then see 2 antenna bands on this one up, one down, and then we have 2 antenna bands on the iPhone 16 Pro as well. If we come on to the top, so we see 1 antenna band, and on the S25 Ultra you can see the noise cancellation mics. On the left there is on the left side, absolutely there's nothing on the S25 Ultra. There's just 1 antenna band, which looks much more sleeker, you can see if in person. And the iPhone 16 Pro, you're just getting the volume up and down. There's an action button which you can just modify according to your needs, like which app you want to just align it with. And then there's the SIM card tray over here. Both doesn't support the SD card slot. And then if we talk about on the bottom of these both phones, so you're just seeing the speaker and the mic and the Type-C charging port on the iPhone 16 Pro, and on the S25 Ultra you're just seeing the SIM card tray, and then we have the mic, we have 1 speaker, we have the Type-C charging port, and we have 2 antenna bands, and the S-band integration over there is there onto the left of this phone. So design wise, like obviously these are pretty much different phones, if we can say. If we talk about the corners, so I like much more design of the S25 Ultra in terms of like you can have a better real estate because of the lesser curved edges. However, the design on the S25 Ultra is very much similar to what you get to see on the A series or the budget lineup of the Samsung Galaxy phones. And this has been like pretty much streamlined right now. Like it's very hard to find difference except like always, so like these 2 camera modules over here you get extra that could differentiate from other budget phones. But for the S25 and the S25 Plus, it's very hard to find the difference unless you're just so much focused on the colors. On the iPhone 16 Pros, you can just kind of clearly differentiate between the Pro models and the regular models because of the dual camera setup on the regular, and the Pro models get the triple camera setup. And the front, if we talk about of the screen, so yeah, so I would just must say like the S25 Ultra would be my choice regarding this one. And however, the screen itself is like very much nice on these both phones, and the build wise is also very much nice, feels very much premium in the hand if you hold both of these devices. Like there's slight curve on the back of the S25 Ultra, and the front is completely flat, and there are no curves, which I just adore, because that would just allow us to just avoid the weird reflections while you're just watching something on your phone. So in that regard, like it has been really great, the Samsung S25 Ultra. Now if we hold these both phones, so I would say like it's very hard to find difference. Slightly heavier on the S25 Ultra side, which it is actually, but considering the size of this one, like I really like the feel, and it doesn't feel as heavy as the S24 Ultra in pocket. And let's talk about the software on these both phones. So software wise, these are completely different devices and they can completely do different things uh, that makes them both different. So on the S25 Ultra, Samsung just talked about so much of the AI. The phones have like the all of the AI stuff that's going on. Obviously, there's a better chip you're getting than the S24 Ultra on the S25 Ultra. Apple also just announced the iPhone 16 Pro and just talked about so much about the AI, but I feel like the integration of the AI is much more better on the S25 Ultra than what you get to see on the iPhone 16 Pro. Obviously, the Apple is now just improving the AI features with every update, and this will be just going on in the future as well, just to integrate more AI into the phone. Obviously, I'm not a fan of just paying for the AI. I'm just maybe using AI for mainly for the you can say erasing object from my picture, and that's it up till now. That what I've used the AI for. But yeah, once the AI will be paid, so I believe that there has to offer something so much more that the person would just pay or maybe subscribe. I'm not sure how that will just come, like as a yearly subscription, or like how that will be just implemented by both of these Apple and Samsung. But yeah, there has to be something really interesting to see, like that would just worth paying for. So yeah, and if we talk about the firmwares, obviously the iPhone 16 Pro has zero proprietary iOS softwares over here, and on the S25 Ultra you're just getting the Android 15 over here. So both are pretty much different. So one UI has been integrated into the S25 Ultra, and multitasking wise this has been a beast. And I would say like I appreciate on the Samsung side regarding this one that they integrate so much software capabilities, and I would say like I like much more Samsung software than what the Apple software has to offer. So I just always incline towards using the Samsung because of the fact like it has the multitasking. You can just open a split screen like I can open this one and you can just open this one in a split screen, and you can just do this one and you can just swap both of these apps. But you cannot do same thing on the iPhone 16 Pro, which just defies the purpose of just having so much powerful chip on the iPhone itself. It's like Apple have just made their device bottlenecked with their software capabilities because this device could perform so much, but yeah, obviously the softwares which just holds me back. Like you can just open the split screen on the S25 Ultra. You can just open it as a pop-up window. You can just make the you can do like so much with this one. You can just minimize this one as an icon. You can just open it, and you can just do so much stuff with it. That's the point that I like it with the S25 Ultra. It's like a beast of an Android device, and I think that's the best as you can get in the market right now as far as concerned with the software and the camera, or all overall like the hardware wise. That's the best Android device that you can get in the market right now. And obviously the iPhone is the best of the best. You can just get it from the Apple that has to offer, but both are like completely different devices, so it completely depends upon which one you want to incline towards. Like the S25 Ultra is have their own ecosystem. If you're logged into an Apple ecosystem, so obviously you might want to just get the iPhone 16 Pro. But however, I would just say like I have these both devices in front of me, so if you just want something new and you're just bored with the iPhone, you must try once the Android phone, like the flagship phone like S25 Ultra, or maybe like a regular S25 to just get that feel. And I would say like if you're the S25 Ultra user since long time or Samsung S series user since long time, you must try the iPhone just to just feel like what the other device feels like in terms of the user interface and like over experience that you get out of it. So yeah, if you have that thing, so I would just recommend you guys to just try, because I don't find software wise like I don't find so much difference that you can get on the S25 Ultra when it's compared to the S24 Ultra, and same goes for the iPhone 16 Pro. Like you don't find so much different than what you get on the iPhone 15 Pro, except like few gimmicks they throw at it on the newer devices. But rather than that, like there hasn't been much more changes. Obviously the screens are much more nicer looking. There are kind of refinements each year, so there hasn't been like a major upgrade that forces you guys to just upgrade from S24 to S25 Ultra, or you maybe say iPhone 15 Pro to iPhone 16 Pro or Pro Max, unless you want just best of the best each year. So then only option would be to just get this one and upgrade devices each year. I believe the devices are meant to be used for couple of years, and even then they would be just good to last along. These both devices are like future proof. Most of the times you can just give your older phone to your younger sibling or someone to if you want to just upgrade, so that just goes down the hierarchy in your family, that I would just say. But like upgrading phone each year doesn't make sense these days. Like you get very similar experience to what you get previously, or like a phone which is like, I would say like S23 Ultra, if you pick that one up, so you wouldn't find so much difference in terms of the interface and user experience that you're getting, except like a minor refinements that you can see on the newer phones itself. So yeah, if you want to just upgrade from S22 Ultra to S25 Ultra, that would just make sense. Obviously I wouldn't recommend to just upgrade from S24 Ultra to S25 Ultra. I would just rather say to upgrade and skip one model at least in between to just upgrade, so it would just make sense. And same goes for the Apple as well in that case. Nevertheless, like both devices are great in terms of their capabilities. You can see like the smoothness on the screen is very much similar. You can say like both are pretty much smoother devices that you can see. Like the animation itself are great on this device. So yeah, so animations feels pretty much similar on these both devices, and yeah, so animation wise, like both are pretty much nice. Once it comes to like smoothness, both are like 120 hertz display, and the peak brightness should be suffice for both. This one is like 2000 nits on the iPhone and 2600 nits on the S25 Ultra, which should be fine. That's kind of a peak brightness that you get in the extreme case scenarios over there. Now let's go ahead and just check out the speakers on these both phones. So I'll be just playing some video over here. So let's launch some videos over here to test out the speakers. I haven't tested the speaker of the S25 Ultra yet, so I'll start with the iPhone 16 Pro.
I want to share some numbers with you here. 23,000.
So if you guys living in Iraq, so you might not know that the Galaxy A16 has been launched in October, or you can say mid-October, and we just let's try the same video on the just a second, just try the same video on the. So if you guys living in Iraq, so you might not know that the Galaxy A16 has been launched in October, or you can say mid-October, and we just go ahead and unbox this one. So this specific color is the blue black with 120 gigs of memory and 4 gigs of RAM, and we just go ahead and unbox this one. So there's something special in the box, and just to differentiate the box, Samsung haven't given the pull tabs on this one, so we just go ahead and just do it old school kind of unboxing on this one, and go ahead and unbox this one. So this specific color is the blue black with 120 gigs of memory and 4 gigs of RAM. So this phone basically lies in, and so one thing I'm noticing in both of these speakers, so I find the iPhone 16 Pro speaker a little bit of more depth you're getting on the iPhone 16 Pro speaker. The speaker has been great on the S25 Ultra as well, but it's the iPhone one is focusing over the depth, and the S25 Ultra is just focusing over the loudness. So it's not in a bad terms loudness, like it's kind of loud, and the depth is like kind of a missing on the S25 Ultra. So it's much more louder, but though between the, you can say, mid-range to we'll just go ahead and unbox this one. So I'll just try the non-copyright music on both of these phones. Now here the Samsung one. Now the S25 Ultra. So you get like very different feel of these both phones in terms of the speakers. So yeah, I can vouch that the iPhone 16 Pro has a little bit depth than the S25 Ultra, but S25 Ultra is kind of a different league in terms of the sound clarity and everything. Both are very nice speakers, and very hard to compare these both speakers in terms of the sound quality. So let's go ahead and just play a little more. A little bit punchier on the iPhone 16 Pro than the S25 Ultra, but yeah, both are like great speakers on these both phones. And we just go ahead and just play some videos over here to have the color idea of these both phones. So we just go ahead and just play some videos over here to check how these one both feels in 4K. So I'll just do the brightness at peak of these both phones, and so that we could just have a better idea on this one. So I'll just make these ones in landscape mode, so you guys can have a better idea how this one performs. So on the top we have the S25 Ultra, and I'll just do the resolution to be as 2160, and on the iPhone as well as 2160. And I'll just go ahead and just play these both videos so you guys would have a better idea how this one feels like. So the color is like different in both, but nevertheless like both feels pretty nicer. The Samsung screen is like much more contrasty than what you get to see on the iPhone 16 Pro. So let's make this video bigger. So that's the thing I'm talking about. So that island is on the iPhone, it's so much noticeable, you cannot just let it go. But on the S25 Ultra, it feels so much blend into the video, like you hardly notice this one once you're just watching these videos. And on the iPhone 16 Pro, it's very hard to let it go, this one. So we'll make this one as a regular one. Nevertheless, like both screens are so much nice, but like obviously I'm just inclining towards a little bit towards the S25 Ultra in this regard. You're just getting more contrasty, and like it feels much more nicer to the eyes. However, both screens are great. It's just subjective, like whatever you guys like regarding that one. So yeah, I just close these videos off, and now I can say like so my final verdict would be like which phone do you get in 2025 or in the beginning of the 2025, whether you should get the iPhone 16 Pros or maybe you should get the S25 Ultra. So my suggestion would be like I would say like both devices are great in their own terms. If you're looking for the better AI integration, so the S25 Ultra should be the choice right now, because Apple is just gimmicky kind of right now with the its AI system. However, it's getting improved and it's much more better, but obviously you're just getting the better integration of the AI with the S25 Ultra. The second thing is that like if you guys are like looking forward to the multitasking capability, so I would just suggest to get the S25 Ultra, because that way you will just much more better off with the S25 Ultra rather than with the iPhone 16 Pro. The only reason that I would just incline towards the iPhone 16 Pro would be if I'm just logged into the iPhone ecosystem, and that would be just the only reason that I would be just inclining towards the iPhone, like me as a person. And the devices are like so much matured right now. Like it depends on the personal preference, like what you need from the device itself. So you guys can make the decision on that rather than just being a Samsung guy or maybe an iPhone guy. So both devices have like different things to offer. The iOS and the ecosystem of an Apple is like really nice, and the integration of all the devices in between is like so smooth in between the other devices that Apple has to offer with the iPhone, that you might want to just get the iPhone if you want to remain in that sector, or maybe you can just try another device. Or if you're just looking for a newer device, or if you want to just get a newer experience, so you should get the S25 Ultra and get out of the Apple ecosystem. And this works like either way. If you're just bored with the S25 Ultra and you're just completely finding something new, so I would just say to go for the either way to the foldables, or maybe you can just lock it in yourself with the Apple ecosystem or get the iPhone. Like me myself, I don't have any sort of any other Apple product rather than just an iPhone 16 Pro, that's it. And I prefer the Android because I'm just inclining towards the much more multitasking capabilities, not using the AI right now. So yeah, that's not for me right now. I just use the AI for the what you call just the very minimal usage that I do with the AI right now. So it depends upon the preference. So if you guys have any questions, you can just let me know down in the comments and I'll just try to answer those. There will be more videos coming for the S25 Ultra as well, so please like, share and subscribe, and press the bell icon. And thank you for watching again. Have a good day. Bye.